guys? Welcome to the When in Doubt podcast. We are back with episode 16. As you can tell, if you're watching the video podcast, this is very, very scuffed. We are online. We technically only have two members of the normal podcast. We got me and Gavin. We got our guest star today, which is my brother, younger brother Brady. Maybe some of you who watch the podcast know him, if you know me personally. So, he was a highly requested guest between those people. So we got him on for today. Was it mostly just because we didn't have anybody else who could show up? Yes. But is he here? Also yes. So that's good. Today we're going to be going through the greatest video games of all time and putting them on a tier list. Obviously, this is definitely going to be, kind of our opinions. So if you don't agree with it, womp womp, too bad. But besides that, let's hop into it, boys. Guys, well, welcome back to episode 16 of the podcast. One more thing quickly before we get into the tier list. Sorry about the whole Discord thing being up here on the side if you're watching the video podcast. I'm going to be honest, I couldn't figure out how to get rid of that while still having both of us on screen and having the tier list on the side. But honestly, this is probably better than most of the other tier list videos we've done, considering you can actually see the tier list and still see us. It's not our favorite that we're virtual, but due to everything that's been going on in all the podcast members' life, as you can tell, it's really tough to find a time when we can all do it. I'm going on vacation soon. There's a bunch of people on spring break. We all got school stuff with finals, exams, and a bunch of crap going on right now. But at least you're here. At least you get content. If you want to watch the podcast, at least you got one. And if you're listening to video or audio, you probably can't even tell the difference. So there you go. If you're really mad about the video, just go listen to the audio. But we're about to start the greatest video games, but I think Brady had something to say to start us off.
Oh yeah, so Brawl Stars, I don't think it's on this list. We need at least A tier or S tier. Top, probably the best mobile game ever.
Gavin, what do you have to say about that?
I'm gonna have to agree. You have Supercell Big Five. You got Brawl Stars, Boom Beach, Clash Royale, Clash of Clans, and Heyday. I don't think all of those deserve to be A and S tier, but I think those are all at least respectable games that deserve to be honorable mentions in this, at least.
For sure.
I 100% agree. I don't really think as of how mobile games are right now, they really compare to console games, in my opinion. I don't think, even for me at least right now, Rocket League Sideswipe, Brawl Stars, Clash Royale, Clash of Clans, they've never just quite felt the same as playing a console game or a PC game. It's not for me, it's never been where I want to sit down and I'm like, man, I want to play some Brawl Stars. That's just, for me, that's never been me. The only time that happens for me is when it's I'm in a car ride, I might as well just pull out my phone and play some Brawl Stars. That's for me when I play Brawl Stars. I know some people that differs, but for me that's always how it's been, because if I'm at home, I'm always like, oh, why wouldn't I just go play a console game? So that's how it's always been for me. I don't really know if the mobile game industry has ever really caught up to console games for me, and I don't know if it ever really will. But I know some people do, and if there were any mobile games that we were going to put on this list, it would be those. I haven't really looked through the whole list. Maybe they are down here, but if they're not, those are all amazing, great, and masterpiece mobile game-wise. You know what I mean?
I think I could confidently say that majority of people have at least tried one of the Supercell games in their life. And
yeah, for sure.
They're saying they liked it, but they're popular enough to the point where everyone's willing to give them a try. And they do have the popular ones, I'd say Brawl Stars, Clash Clans, I'd say all of them, Boom Beach are really popular right now.
Yeah, I agree. All right, well, starting off, I can already tell you for a fact that neither of you two have played Advance Wars. A remake recently came out.
All the time.
All the time, yeah. A remake recently came out on the Switch for this game. I never actually played the remake. I played a little bit of the the Game Boy Advance version actually on my Retroid Pocket, which I'm not going to get into, but if you know what that is, kudos to you because you're a serious gaming fan. But I can see how awesome it is for some people, especially back in the day. Honestly, it's a good game. It could be a great game, but I think there's a lot of other... Bro, you haven't even played it. What are you on about?
It's decent.
But there's a lot of other good games on this list.
Played it, it's
going
not
down,
good.
looking through, there's a lot of other good games on this list, so I'm not gonna put that
in decent.
Really any higher, but I think it's a good game, so we'll put it there. We are gonna fly through a couple of these that are older games that I really never played. And I would guess not any of us has really ever played. If there's any of these games that you guys see and you want us to stop on, Gavin or Brady, you can. But
I can't see them.
Oh yeah, you can't. Oh yeah, sorry. Well, that's a good point. Alan Wake 2 out of these next three mid. Alan Wake 2. I want to say sorry because I know how awesome this game is, and I know how awesome the first game was, and how like critically acclaimed they were. So I'm very interested. I want to put this in never played interested. These I've never played. But we're actually on to our first mobile game, which is Angry Birds. What do you think about that, Kevin?
Angry Birds is a classic. Like, just back in the day, I haven't touched that game in years, but I remember back when I was younger, everybody played that game. There was Angry Birds. I think they like had Angry Birds 2 with like bass and everything. I don't remember which one's which, but I just remember Angry Birds being a banger game.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, for back in the day mobile games, this is once again one of those games where it's like, yeah, maybe it's not the same as sitting down playing a console game, but if there is any mobile game that's just like fun, you want to waste some time on, that I feel like that's a high pick for me. So I'm gonna rate this as a mobile game. If it's a mobile game, it's great. But I feel like once again, compared to all the games we have, it's good. But I'll put it above Advance Wars. Are you fine with that?
I think we put Angry Birds in good and Advance Wars in decent.
What tier list are you using? I'm just gonna try to find it.
It's the greatest video games of all time, 1971 to 2003 tier list maker.
2023.
Or 2023. I'm going crazy. But
500 plus?
No. It's no. Here.
Mm.
I'll send you a picture. Where's my phone at? Where's my phone at?
I have no idea. I'm sending Gavin a snap right now.
What? Where's my phone? Oh, it's under here. Oh, that's what it's called.
Gavin, I just sent you a snap.
Oh, I think I got it. We're cutting this out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because when I go to it, I just get this.
Oh, that's weird. Maybe turn your phone
There's
sideways.
No games.
Wompity womp.
Oh shit! There's so many.
I know. All right, we're on Angry Birds right now, all right?
We just finished up.
Advanced Wars Adventure, Age of Empires, Alan Wake, Alone in the Dark, Angry Birds. Okay, next is Animal Crossing. I just want to make sure I have the right one.
All right. Here we go. All right, the next game on the list is Animal Crossing's New Horizon. I have spent a lot of time in this game on the Switch. This is one of those games where it's more of like a cozy. Kicked off the podcast. No, I'm kidding. It's more of like a cozy, play it around. Like, it's not like a game where it's like, like fully sweating like a first-person shooter game, but it's a cozy game. You're on your island, and honestly, I feel like this was one of the best iterations of Animal Crossing. It's one of those games where watching a YouTube video of it, when you watch it, it's like, okay, that game kind of looks boring, but then when you actually play it, it's so addicting. The gameplay loop is so much fun. And Animal Crossing as a series as a whole, honestly, I think is really peaking around now. I really like New Horizons. I know some people argue New Leaf was the best one, and honestly, I know some people who say the original Animal Crossing was the best one, but I've played New Leaf and New Horizons. I didn't ever play the original, but I did play those two, and I did think New Horizons was better, in my opinion, considering that I'm the only one who's played this, correct? Gavin, you haven't played this?
I've played this.
No, you have not.
I haven't. No, I never tried it.
I've seen you play it, and hot take here, put it straight to bed.
That's crazy take. Crazy take.
Right
no.
there. Keep it there. Nope.
We're going to put this up at amazing. I think this is an amazing game. No questions asked.
This is why you get all the hate comments.
Gavin has fans in the background of the podcast. Animal Crossing. This one, I'm going to be honest, I never played, but I'm going to rank it pretending I did play it because I really think it's similar to that, except not as good. I'm going to put it in great.
What did you rank New Horizon?
New Horizons, I put in amazing because I think it is. It's definitely the best.
You think it's amazing? What is that, A?
It's not.
Well, it's not masterpiece, but it's amazing.
It's not that much better than Angry Birds.
Wait, what is this tier list? Are we just using A, B, C, D, or like?
We're using the tiers. The tiers up here on our screen say masterpiece, amazing, great, good, decent, bad, horrible, put in landfill.
Yeah, I say we put that one in landfill.
That's crazy.
Well, we got a lot of options then. Oh God.
Well, moving on, we're gonna keep skipping ahead. We got to Assassin's Creed 2. Have you guys ever dabbled in this game?
Yeah, I played with Jason in the basement.
I think it's a stick game. I never was really into it though.
Yeah. How about you played it with? Yeah, you did. I know exactly what you're talking about. That was back in the day. I never actually had this game when I was younger. I have it now, but I remember when around when it came out, I would go over to a friend's house who did have it and play, and we always had a really good time. I never actually beat the whole game, even though I do have it now myself. But That being said, I think Assassin's Creed is obviously just a completely different game than Angry Birds. And although I would definitely play Assassin's Creed 2 rather than Angry Birds like right now, just for what Angry Birds did at its time in the mobile gaming space, is I think way more important in general than what Assassin's Creed 2 did for console gaming at its time. So for that sake, I am going to put Angry Birds above it, even though that I'm sorry if I'm angering all the Assassin's Creed fan because I definitely think it's a better game. I promise. But it's just, I mean, come on, it's Angry Birds. Like, just have a fun time. Like, it's Angry Birds. Come on, you know. So, moving on next, it's like we do get to some of these games where it's like, how do you even rank that? Like Asteroids. Like, I mean, like obviously we weren't around when that was like came out. And, like, I don't really know the impact of that. I know it's a fun arcade game. So like, I'm not even gonna rate that, but.
Let's go to Battlefield.
I'm going to skip ahead. Yeah, well, let's go to the Batman games. These are, especially this one, I can't even really tell what that first one is, but Batman Arkham City for sure. I have this actually on the PS3, I think. It's going to look really funny when somebody's like, yeah, that's not even on the PS3. But I'm 90% sure that I have this one on the PS3, and I played it on there. And I know the Batman games, there's a huge cult following around these games, and people love these games. So, for that matter, I'm going to give it the respect of saying I haven't fully played it through, which is once again going to madden people. But I do want to say I'm very interested. Like, I do want to play the whole through because I know how much people love those games. Moving on to a game I would say we all have now experience with is Battlefield. Um, this is like the OG shooter game. I mean, not really, but it's one of the like OG shooter games. First person shooter. This was like kind of one of the first games I think that really put like almost like the whole like war thing in a game almost. You know what I mean? Uh, because nowadays it's like there's a lot of games out there that kind of try to like recreate that feeling of like being in there, like being in a war, and that's exactly what Battlefield was aiming to do. And at such an early time, at a time where no other game did it, they did it the best. So that's why I think why it blew up and kind of now has fallen off because other companies just do it better. What are you guys' opinion about that?
About
Yeah, about Battlefield.
I'm not gonna lie, I never played that game.
Okay, that's kind of insane. How about you, Brady?
Well, it's just like, I mean, it's decent of a game, but since it is like one of the first shooters, I just don't know if I'd put it in like decent or good. It's one of those two for me.
I'm gonna put it in decent to respect it. I know this is another one where it's like, okay, this was like one of the staple ones for the Battlefield series, but considering I feel like just like movement wise and like just gameplay wise, it's been outclassed by so many other shooters now. You got to put it there in hindsight. You know what I mean? At its time, definitely better, but looking back,
You're telling me you'd rather play any one of those Animal Crossings than Battlefield?
oh yeah, for sure. This one for sure,
That's
100%.
wild.
Doug, just because this is like the common thing with gamers nowadays. It's like, oh, if it's a shooter, it's A tier. Like, bro.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying Animal Crossing. Hot take, it's boring.
No, that's just not it, bro. Because you haven't actually ever played it. You got to get into it. Okay, we're skimming ahead here. There's a few games I want to talk about here. Burnout Paradise and Burnout 3. Both of these games are like super popular. I think this is Burnout Paradise Remastered. I don't know if that's the remaster one. I know Bioshock, he has a huge cult following. Haven't played those games, sorry. Borderlands, also know those games have a huge cult following. Haven't played those either.
I have played Borderlands.
When?
I have.
Oh yeah, you're right. You have. Once again, is it at Jason's house? Yeah. Shout out to Jason. I doubt he watches the podcast. I don't even know if we have this, but if he does, shout out to you because we did play a lot of these games at his house. But Burnout 3 and Burnout Paradise. Gavin, what would you say are your favorite racing games? Just in general, talking about racing games right now.
General?
Yeah.
I mean, I never played a lot of racing games. I just had some random ones on the Wii, like some random NASCAR and like the Cars movie racing games.
Yeah.
Those are pretty fun, but those are just like
games were fun.
the what?
Back when like licensed kids game were actually kind of fun, you know.
Forza Horizon though is a great game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd say Burnout 3 and Burnout Paradise. I didn't play much of Burnout 3, but I know that game is like a favorite in that series, so I will put that in interested but never played. Burnout Paradise, I have played the remake on the Switch. I have it. It is not landfill. I will admit, I don't know if this is a hot take. for me, ever since I played Forza Horizon 3 a long, long time ago, I don't think a game has ever really quite a racing game of like that type has really ever
Forza
quite
Horizon 5.
captured. Well, yeah, Forza Horizon 5 I think is better, but
way better.
like I'm just saying that like open world idea. I guess I'm just a sucker for open world games, but the idea that you can literally drive anywhere and like start races, it's like kind of like have a story and just like drive around a world as well as do actual races is just such a cool idea. Because to me in my head, always the boring part of a racing game is when you're like having to like go through the menus and like figure out like which race you want to do. But Forza Horizon completely takes it out. They make it so that you drive between race to race. That's like you. It basically makes it fun, the part where you're not actually doing the thing that the game's about, which I think is completely genius. Like that is so genius. So because of that, I feel like Burnout Paradise for me was a little bit of a drag. I feel bad putting it in bad because I really don't think it's bad. But once again, compared to other racing games, I think it's bad. uh, any any thoughts on that, or do you agree with that rant, Gavin?
Yeah, I don't know much about that game either.
Okay, there I do want to come back to both these Call of Duty games, but let's skip ahead to a game that now kind of is related to that, just because we're talking about Forza Horizon 5.
Forza Horizon 5. To be honest, my take on this, I'm putting it in either
Forza?
S tier.
Yeah, Forza. This is Horizon 5.
Recently, I've been actually playing this game a decent amount, and I just love the whole idea of the whole game. I'd put it in S tier. I'd put it in the top tier.
Gavin, what are your opinions on Forza Horizon?
Forza is all of them always banger games. Like you said about like you were talking about it before. It's just a really cool concept, and I wouldn't say they're like the best games, but they're really fun to play and always fun to
Yeah, I
have
think
fun.
in the like realistic racing car genre, the Forza Horizon games have always been my favorite. The question is, where do we put it? I mean,
amazing.
I think it's amazing, and I think it's better than Animal Crossing for sure. But I wouldn't put it in masterpiece. That's a little far.
I would put it in masterpiece. I think it's just as good as Fortnite. I would spend my time playing Forza just as much as Fortnite, especially nowadays.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't know though.
Yeah.
But you know, it's fine.
It's I mean that one's just that one's just opinion, but we'll put it in top of amazing. I just want to take Fortnite and realistically say, am I about to put this in S tier? Yes. Do you want to know why? Not specifically because of the game, but because of the memories. I've said this a lot on the podcast. I literally think we have like 6 clips out on Instagram of me being like, the reason Fortnite's so good is because of the memories with the boys. And as much as it is a little cringy, it's also just true. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be honest. Is that not just true? like,
Yeah, Fortnite like it's an S tier. I would agree it's an S tier game, and I think people are just hating it for no reason. Like there was majority of the like Fortnite has one of the highest player rates, and like especially when they dropped the OG season recently or back like when it first released, it was just such a popular game. And yeah, there's gonna be the people hating on it, maybe because they're jealous they never got on the grind. But like
facts.
in reality,
Facts.
Fortnite nights with the boys and we'd all hop on like yeah, great times.
I 100% agree. I 100% agree.
Is there Rocket League on this list?
I don't know. He said it perfectly.
I feel like there is.
All right, continuing down, I do want to circle back to some of these, but I'm just kind of shooting out ones I want to shoot at, which, GTA 5. So, and all the GTA games, to be fair. So, funny is like we were never really like allowed to play these when we were growing up, younger, obviously. Which I don't know how true that is for a lot of people, but that was true for us. Because of that, I never have really gotten into them. I can already hear the hate comments.
Have you played
coming.
it though?
Yes. Not like, but I don't know. I don't know. It's like,
Yeah,
I know this is going to get so much hate. I can already see Liam, or someone on our podcast typing in the comments, being like, that's such crap. GTA 5 is a GOATed game. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put GTA 5 in GOATed tier just for him, because I know there are so many people that think this is one of the greatest games of all time. Have I barely even played it?
hmm No, I agree. You better be right.
Because because of that, I am gonna put it in S tier, GTA 5, just because I respect it. Just because I respect it. Do you agree with
Mhm.
that, Gavin?
I agree. Yeah, GTA like what you said. I never was like really big into the game. Barely ever played it, but like the overall aspect of the game and the idea behind it is just insane. It's such a cool game.
Well, we got so many games on here. I didn't even realize. Like we got a lot of things to get through, and there's a lot of games that I want to
Where's
talk
Wind
about.
Waker
But
at?
let's start talking about
Hmm.
some that I know at least we both know. One of them that I know we both know. Let's go for a Mario game here because we both know it. Do you want to go with what do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about Mario Galaxy? Do you want to talk about Mario Odyssey? Do you want to talk about Super Mario 64? Which Mario game do you want to talk about? A 2D one?
You
Which
skipped
one's your
far
favorite?
down this list. Holy. Um, which one's my favorite? Probably the Super Mario Brothers Wii. Such
Super
a
Mario
big
Brothers
turning
Wii.
point,
Okay.
and
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
yeah, that was I think such a big point in the Mario legacy. And that game was just so popular, so fun to play. Um, there was just like endless fun. You could go through all the levels, restart your progress, like collect different power-ups, take different shortcuts. Just always a fun game to
Yeah,
play when your friends are over.
it's actually funny because I see a lot of people who are like hating on that game because of the fact that it is a new Super Mario Brothers game. There were so many of them. There was I think 4 or 5 total new Super Mario Bros. Game, and people
Hmm.
were complaining like, oh, the game didn't change at all. Like New Super Mario Bros. Wii is the exact same game as New Super Mario Bros. Wii U, which is the exact same game as New Super Mario Bros. Deluxe, which is the exact same game as New Super Mario Bros. DS. And there was like 5 or 6 of them or whatever. But
Yeah,
being realistic, I think Mario Wii was the most fun out of all of those because of the aspect that it was on that like Wii, that family aimed console. So I do think that is a one of the top tier games. We don't actually really have that, but I'm gonna use Mario Brothers the original as that. But I also just think Mario Brothers is
hmm,
kind of like around the same rating as that. Wouldn't you agree? I feel like that was obviously the game that
yeah,
literally saved the
definitely.
gaming industry, and it's also just an awesome game. So I think this has got to
Hmm.
go amazing, top of amazing. I think, no doubt.
I want to
Above
go back in
Forza.
the list. There were a couple that like were in the earlier alphabet.
Yeah.
Um, one of it was Call of. That's just
Which one?
like
Wait,
I
what did you
never
say?
like again
Sorry.
Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, I was gonna go back to those.
Two
I
or
was gonna
four.
go back to those.
Okay, yeah, like that's a game again. This is another game that I never like really got into, but it's just one of those like one of the really popular shooter games, action games. Um, doesn't seem like it's gonna die anytime soon. It's just really popular.
Yeah, I 100% agree with
I
that.
feel like you just gotta put that in masterpiece.
Once again, well, it depends on it depends on the Call of Duty because
Yes.
I know even though that I
Hmm.
like Gavin, I agree. I was never totally into these games as much as I know other people were. There are so many people that will die by certain Call of Duties, but then also say that other ones are literally trash. So I'm gonna say let's pretend that this Call of Duty 4, which is Modern Warfare, which I know is one of the favorites within the Call of Duty community, but I also know like Black Ops 2 is a favorite, the original Black Ops is a favorite. Let's just pretend this is the Call of Duty, all the best Call of Duty games, because I'm gonna take this Call of Duty and put it in Masterpiece because I think Call of Duty's best games, like if we took its top 5 games, those are some of the greatest masterpiece shooters of all time. But then I'm going to use this
Hmm.
Call of Duty and represent the worst Call of Duty games because I'm going to be honest,
Landfill.
if you take the worst 5 Call of Duty games, those games are absolutely crap. Like absolutely crap. And that's why I'm going to put them in landfill. And
First landfill.
if you come on this video on this and like jump to a certain part, you're gonna like look at this list and be like, "What is going on? Like this doesn't make sense." But if you actually watch through the video and I explain it to you, it does make sense because although I know this is not a landfill Call of Duty, if you listen to my explanation, it is. So that's my opinion on Call of Duty series as a whole. The best ones are some of the best ever. The worst ones are some of the worst ever. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right, moving back on to like games that I'm trying to find that we both know. There are a lot of games that I'm going through. I promise I'm a real gamer. I've played a lot of these games, but I know neither of them have. So I'm just trying to pick out games I know we all have played.
Well,
Uh,
there's Minecraft right on.
is Minecraft on here? Or am I tripping out?
I don't even know. Go to the end.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
First M.
let's just shoot this one. I just
Oh,
saw it.
shoot,
Rocket
Rocket
League. This one I'm gonna let Gavin and Brady talk about. So
Okay.
who wants to take the road?
You know, Gavin, you can take this one first.
So Rocket League, I used to love that game. I played it for a while. Recently, like
Yep.
very recently, I stopped playing it. I got rid of my Switch, so I can't even play it if I want to. I do think it was a fun game for a while though, but it was Psyonix made the game really well. I will admit, Psyonix made the game really well. Epic Games bought it and kind of trashed it. Everything got screwed up when Epic Games bought it. I don't know if it's just poor timing or I think it had a lot to do with what Epic Games was trying to do. They changed a lot of the things within the game. Matchmaking got destroyed. MMR got destroyed. It like the aspects of the game, like trading, the item shop, all that got destroyed. And now it's just become kind of a game that's definitely dying. There's nothing they can do to save it now.
Yeah, so in
So
my
I'd
like
say
time of playing Rocket League originally, I would have it in Masterpiece, but now it is completely dropped down like you were saying. Though I do love the taking away trading. Trading ruined the game. I hate
Wild.
I invited like some of my friends to play, and they're like, yeah, and then they hop on and like 1 minute. You gotta give me like 15 minutes. I'm trading. I'm like, okay, well then I'm leaving. So that's why I hated trading. I never traded once in my entire life, and
That's
I played
crazy
Rocket
because that was
League
the opposite for Gavin.
a lot.
Gavin
good
was like the
choice.
trading master.
Yes. So I personally
I
would
did
just put
trade
in
like
amazing.
hmm
I would put in
if it was
amazing just
like
from the good times.
2020, 2021, like before, like right after Epic Games bought it, right when it went free to play. I
Yeah.
played it before it went free to play, but I'd say that was the prime time, like 2020, 2021. It just gotten bought by Epic Games. The game was thriving. I would have put that in. I don't know what our tiers are, but like A or S tier maybe even. Now I would put it in like. I actually have the list of the tiers. These days I'd put it in probably like D, bad or horrible.
Yeah.
Maybe even put it in a land.
These days.
I think for the respect, you put it in top of great.
Yeah.
For respect, because I think at its height, it was a masterpiece, low masterpiece. But at its worst,
It
it's
didn't have
literally
it.
probably
It
bad.
had its height, but it didn't have its height for that long, which
Yeah.
it just like hit a peak and instantly just came tumbling down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
Like
So
now, even like the GCs in Rocket League, some of them are better than SSLs. Ranked is completely broken nowadays.
Everything this game is broken now. It can't be fixed.
moving on, I want to touch on Elden Ring. I have not fully beaten this game. I'm playing it right now. I know once again this is like literally everybody's like this is the game. This was the game of the year for a lot of people. This was like the one of the best games of all
Landfill.
time. I am gonna put it in masterpiece because I know that if we don't, we will absolutely get flamed. And at least then it makes our list look a little bit better. I haven't fully played it yet. Get mad at me, do it. I don't care. I am playing through it. It's amazing so far. I love it. I know if Liam was here, he'd absolutely gush about it because he loves the game so much. So, yeah, Liam, once again, shout out to you because I know you love that.
I wish you put that in top of amazing.
No,
I don't think it deserves masterpiece.
dog. It's like literally genre defining. You don't even know. Like, it literally is. All right, moving on. Let's go to once
Do
again.
they even have Minecraft in here?
I don't know, but let's find it. Let's find a game. Actually, let's just go with the Mario Kart series as a whole. This is Mario Kart 64, but let's just call this the Mario Kart series as a whole. How do you guys feel about that series as a whole?
Absolutely banger. I played Mario Kart Dash on the GameCube. I played Mario Kart for the Wii, and now I play Mario Kart Deluxe 8 on the Switch. I never had like the Wii U phaser before the GameCube, but those three that I played were such bangers, and each one was like so different, yet so it was they were similar yet different to the point where it was still the same game, but there was so much different about it. For example, Double Dash, you could play two people in one cart. That was actually so fun. I wish they would bring that back. And now you have Mario Kart Deluxe, which has like combinations of all these tracks, new items, and everything to make the game more fun.
Yeah, I understand. Agree. I think Mario Kart is the single greatest party game to pull out at a party ever. I mean, I think it's something where if you pull it out, pull out some controllers, especially with how they do it in 8 Deluxe, where you have that smart steering, the ability just to kind of basically make it so that even if you are so bad at Mario Kart that you don't even know how to play, just give the guy a controller, basically make it do it for him, and they'll still have a fun time. I think that's genius, and I think what they've done with the game, they have it so that it's competitive enough where if you want to be competitive with it, you can, because competitive Mario Kart is a real thing, and it's absolutely ridiculous how good those pros are. But then there's also just casual Mario Kart, where if you hook it up on a TV, play with your friends at a party, you're gonna love it, and you're gonna have a great time. So overall,
Hmm.
honestly, I think there once again this is one of those games that I think did
Masterpiece.
have highs and lows. I think there were definitely heights in Mario Kart, but I think there are also lows. But overall,
Amazing.
I think it's I don't know. Honestly, I would argue for bottom of masterpiece in my opinion. But if you guys want
Hmm.
to say
I say top of amazing.
The game never has hit like a like game like it's never been like one of the top games of the year. Like there's always been games that have been better, like
yeah,
Fortnite, Minecraft. There's been games that have been better, but it's always been a game that has been you. No matter what, it's going to be fun to play at least for a little bit. Like it's never going to be a game where you like just straight out like you stay on that game for a year like another game, but it's a game that you can always play in the back of your mind, play with your friends, just for fun.
yeah, I
By the way, Gavin, our mic was just off there, so that
wait
whole
no
speech of yours
no
just pretty
it
much
no
went
that
out.
it's still it still records his mic.
Oh.
We're chilling. Sorry, we're having slight technical difficulties, but we're figuring it out along the way. I'm sorry, Brady. We're outvoting you. We're putting it in the bottom of masterpiece. Womp womp.
Not as good as Forza.
It is. It's better than Forza. But it's totally different.
That's
I mean,
just because you guys play it all the time.
It's hard.
I think just because Mario Kart is a party game, it is more fun than Forza in my opinion.
I don't know. It's the type of thing where it's like they're just so different. You can't really compare them. I mean,
Gavin, when's the last time you played Forza?
It's been a long time.
Exactly.
It's not anytime recently. So I don't play the game. I've just played it with friends.
Okay. Well, too bad. Me and Gavin are doing the tier list. Kidding. Brady, do you want to have let's pick a game that Brady knows so he can have a say. Let's pick Legend of Zelda Wind Waker.
Put Wind Waker straight up to masterpiece. Best game.
You want a funny story about Legend of Zelda Wind Waker is that I played through this whole game. Brady has literally never played this game, basically. But he watched me play the whole game, and he had so much fun watching me play it that he wants to put it in S tier.
I would sit there. It was back in the mobile Fortnite days when I just grinded mobile Fortnite, and I would just not play mobile Fortnite and just watch Hayden play Wind Waker and beat the game. It was.
So they have a lot of Zelda games down here, and I know Gavin's a Zelda hater, or maybe not a Zelda hater, but more.
I don't hate it. I know they're like great games, great quality games, so fun. I just never took the time to play them, buy them, and do anything.
Okay. I think it's better than Mario Kart, but not as better.
Better than Elden Ring.
No, not better than Elden Ring.
I think Mario Kart is
not better than Mario Kart.
No, I'm putting it below both. I'm putting it below both of them. Okay.
There's this game. Oh. You got one?
Yeah. No. You go.
Okay. I don't know if y'all have played it, but I'm surprised it's on this list. Little Big Planet.
Oh yeah, Little Big Planet. Yes.
Obviously, such a great game.
Brady's never heard of it, but.
Okay. But I don't know why it's on this list. I don't think it was a super popular game. But back when we had our PS3, we just got I don't know where we got it from. We got the original for Christmas or something, and it was so fun. We ended up going to thrift shops in the library, renting them out. The other ones we got they have a Mario Kart version of Little Big Planet, like a little racing game. So we have 5 of the different games. They're so dumb, but they're just fun games you can play with your friends and really good party aspect in the game.
Well, I just lost.
I wouldn't say they're top tier though.
I had it out. Well, where'd it go? Oh, here it is. I don't know how it spawned over there.
I would not put it anywhere in the top tier though, just because it's not it was never a super game. It was just a little fun game you could play.
How about we put it at good?
Do decent.
Do we think good?
Yeah,
that's
good.
Or decent?
Because there's so many games that are better than it. But
are you telling me it's better than
cannot be
Battlefield?
forgotten.
Yeah, that Battlefield has fallen off, bro. So
it doesn't matter if it's fallen off. It started shooter games. It was it was pretty big back then.
I mean, yeah, but is that Battlefield as a whole or just that Battlefield game? Because if it's Battlefield as a whole, we can move it up. But if it's just that Battlefield, it's a bum game.
Nowadays, it is. When did that game come out? 1942?
No, bro.
What are we talking about?
No, it's Battlefield 1940. It's not. It didn't come out in 1942.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. I don't care. We're leaving it there because I think Battlefield.
I'm looking in M. And there's a couple games I noticed I don't see.
Is there no Minecraft?
That should be in here definitely. MLB The Show and Madden.
Oh my
god.
And
I agree.
FIFA, 2K.
Oh, Minecraft is here.
I think we could just.
Minecraft.
Oh yeah, Minecraft. But those 2K, FIFA, MLB The Show, and Madden. Those 4 games, I feel like they're not on this list surprisingly. But those 4 games you could just classify all masterpieces. All those games, so fun to play. I'd play any of those with friends on my own. Specifically, I was a big fan of The Show and Madden. And I know friends with FIFA though, and friends with okay. So that's just a game. I feel like every male in the United States has tried at least one of those and enjoyed it.
Yep, I agree. I think it's one of those games that has definitely had its peaks and also had its lows because I know the people who actually play the games now are mad because of how bad they all are. They're all okay, it's fun to play, but the games actually suck. There's no good content. It's the exact same game. They make us pay $60 for the same game every year now, $70. So I do think that's a little bit of BS, but at the same time, overall, as sports games, they have done a good job, and there has been good sports games all along for you to play. So we don't have a way to rank that, but if you're listening to the podcast fully through, which I hope you are.
Honorable mention for Masterpiece.
Yes, honorable mention for around Masterpiece, depending on the game, could be lower. Honestly, so once again, it's one of those things where some of them are literally trash and other ones are Masterpiece, so take it as you will. Let's go to Minecraft. We're gonna. By the way,
shove that
Masterpiece. Yeah, I do want to say one thing. Actually, 2 things. Quickly, I love Minecraft. I think it's one of those games that just never die because of how versatile it is with the whole like server community, which I know Brady and Gavin, Brady especially, can talk about a lot about that. I think it's right there. I think a lot of people could even argue it's over Fortnite, but then again, it's mostly my tier, Gavin's too, and Brady's. I don't know what I'm talking
I'd
about.
put it over in
It's
Fortnite.
mostly Hayden's tier list. He's the yapper.
Yeah, it's Hayden. He
For
yaps.
the-
I don't know if you've seen me before,
No, I'm
Hayden,
kidding.
but I've multiple times
Just
pulled
playing.
up this during Hayden's talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's yappity yap.
But yeah, Mike, I get what you're saying with servers. Like, I didn't do a ton with those because I didn't, I don't think I had Minecraft and Xbox Live at the same time. Like, I switched a lot. But I did do a lot of servers and like Bed Wars specifically.
Bedwars.
But other little games too. They were all like Minecraft just has so many possibilities. Once say you go into the servers, like even without the servers, you got survival creative, so many things you can do. You add on the servers, you could do literally anything.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's endless possibilities. They say in the trailers and in the game it's like the limit is the limit is your imagination, and that is true with Minecraft 100%.
Mm.
Gavin, what's better
And
though
one
in
of
your
the
eyes,
things that
Java
is,
or Bedrock?
what'd you say?
Java or Bedrock, what's better?
Bro, I never learned the difference between those. I know one's like for PC, the other's for like console.
Yeah.
I
Brady,
just
give
played
me
the
the take.
console
What
version.
do you think, Java or Bedrock?
Don't hold the mic there, buddy. Okay. Well, personally, okay, buddy. I'm just gonna say Java. Everyone likes Java better, but the only thing I got going for Bedrock is just building, just being able to place a block right in front of you, and Bedrock just bumps it up, but still Java.
All right. I don't really know what that means. I'm not a Minecrafter quite like Brady. By the way, I just want to tell you for those listening to the podcast through, which hopefully we got a lot of you doing that. I just decided we're gonna do this thing where basically this list is so long. What we're gonna do is we're eventually just gonna cut off this episode, and then if we ever like run out of episode ideas to make, we're just gonna come back and make another part to the series because there are so many games to go through on this list, and there are so many games to talk about. But let's talk about like 2 or 3 more, and then call it and done with the episode, part 1. But then we can do more parts later if we want to.
I think
But
we gotta hit up
obviously,
Pac-Man on this list.
I want to
is
touch on
Pac-Man even
Minecraft one more
here?
time though.
Is Pac-Man even on here? uh, let's head down to Mario. Actually no, let's go Zelda. I want to talk Zelda one more time. I think Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild are both. Brady's just leaving the vicinity, I guess, for a second. So give that a second. But I can talk Zelda quick. I honestly think it's a incredible game series as a whole. And I think he's already back. And I think Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild top off that entire series, in my opinion. I know it's a little bit of a hot take because I think Ocarina of Time is a fan favorite, but in my opinion, Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, these two right here, which I'm gonna go throw up here, are literally both masterpieces because they are the two best Zelda games in my opinion, no doubt.
Yep.
These are literally when you describe genre-defining games. These are genre-defining games. I think Tears of the Kingdom did, honestly, hot take. I think it's
Very hot take.
I think it's right
Better
here.
than Elden Ring, because I guarantee you that game is horrible.
Bro, dude, that is
put
crazy.
That in landfill.
That is crazy.
Straight to landfill.
Calling Elden Ring landfill is unreal.
Landfill. Gavin, have you played that game? Exactly, landfill.
Just because you haven't played a game doesn't mean it's.
I've seen the game. Seen a lot of it on Instagram Reels where there's a bunch of car crashes and people dying.
What?
That's
not in.
Okay.
Oh, you're just saying on Instagram Reels, guy. I thought you were talking about the game. I was like, that is not the game.
Anyways, can we hit up Pac-Man?
Is Pac-Man on the list?
Yes, it is.
Where?
Go to the P's.
But right now, I look like those girls who wear too much makeup.
What?
Right there.
Okay.
Oh, it went away.
Pac-Man.
But like when I was like a freaking light bulb.
All right, Brady, give us your take on Pac-Man. Let's.
Is your microphone dying or just
No,
disconnecting?
continue.
Pac-Man. Well, we got it as we got like the arcade, the Pac-Man game itself, like a few years ago, and I've played it a lot, and I've gotten decent at it, and I think it's just a solid game. It's just kind of fun just to play whenever you're bored and you're just chilling.
It's one of the top high score games, I think. Like one of those games where it's like the goal is to get a high score. That Pac-Man is the pinnacle of that type of game.
Like people beating that whole game is crazy. You can't even see half the screen at the end, but I don't know how that's possible.
It's crazy.
But Gavin's covering.
Where do you want to put that?
I'm putting it. It's such a great original game. First of all, I think we take away both the Animal Crossings, put them in like landfill, put Elden Ring in
Yes.
horrible, and then we put Pac-Man straight to great or amazing.
I think it's high
I
grade.
have to back up Brady on this one.
I think it's high grade.
Okay, well, if you're telling me Rocket League's at the great tier, then I don't think
It's better than Rocket League.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, because
I mean, I guess
because
it's just such an original. Then yeah, I'll give it to you. It's better than Animal Crossing though. So you're either
I
putting
just don't like Rocket League much anymore.
Yeah, I don't like Rocket League anymore. It's mid now, but it was fun back.
There's a few games here that are staring me down that I know people are gonna want me to talk about, especially
Part 2.
Red Dead Redemption, Pokemon games, certain ones, but I'm not gonna do that.
There's so many good
because
games left on this
We're
list.
gonna save that for part 2. Let's do one more game that we all
Gavin,
know.
You got it.
Gavin, do you want to choose one? Do you have one that you found that we might all know?
Oh, I haven't been looking. I've just been seeing there's a lot of like.
How do you feel about Wii Sports?
There's Plants
you want to do
vs
that
Zombies.
one? The last
There's
one?
Pong.
Sports,
Wii Sports, yes.
All right, tell me about Wii Sports, Gavin. What do you think?
Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort. Those were the games of the times when we had Wii Sports at our house. Played those games. Whip up a little bit of tennis, baseball, boxing, and then go to our grandparents' house. They had Wii Sports Resort and like the laser fights and all that. Like not the laser fights, the
Sword
like
fights.
dueling
Sword
and
fights
stuff.
thing, yeah.
Sword fights. But Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort, like those games are just so fun. And like they had the option where you could do one player, and I did that sometimes to get your like skill level up. But like it was fun. You could play it by yourself against CPUs, or you could play it with friends and like.
Yeah, I agree. I think Wii Sports was one of those games where it's, especially like at the time on the console, it was the Wii, and how the Wii was targeted at a more family-friendly audience. Wii Sports was a great decision by Nintendo, great game, and implemented the motion controls better than anything has literally ever like happened, even up until now. Like they have a new Wii Sports thing on Switch, and honestly, I'm pretty sure 98% of people would rather just go back and play the original Wii Sports. That's just how good it was.
Better than
at
Elden
the time.
Ring.
All right. Brady's just out here giving Elden Ring slander, which will just get hate in the comments. So.
I agree with him on it.
Thank you, Gavin. Put both Animal Crossing and Landfill.
No, I'm not letting that happen.
And the Elden Ring, maybe around Landfill and Horrible, and then you can bump up.
You know what Wii Sports reminded me of though?
Tell me.
There was that one game. I can't remember what it was called. It was called Wii Play.
Oh yeah.
Absolute banger. Like one of the best Wii games in my opinion ever. Hitting up around tanks with someone and absolutely like destroying them and just shooting them down right away. Like nothing better.
All the Wii series games were all really awesome, especially the ones that they actually did well. Those were always super fun. All right, well, I think we're going to cut it off here. There are literally, I'm not even kidding, hundreds and hundreds of other games to go through, and I've played a lot of them, and I know I want to talk about a lot of them, and I'm sure other people do. But we can also save some of these for like when other people are on the podcast, and we have more people who can talk about other games that maybe we haven't had as much experience in. But this is what we got through so far. Go watch the episode, and don't just look at our tier list, because there are specific like games that are basically representing entire game genres, or maybe it's just a specific game. So go through and watch the whole thing, because it won't make sense if you just see the tier list. But thank you guys so much for watching episode 16. Sorry about not having an episode last week, and sorry about it being a little scuffed this week, but we are back, and hopefully even better than ever before. Anything you got to say, Brady? Sign it off.
Put Elden Ring and put Landfill.
All right, see ya, boys.
See you guys.
Peace out.
Thank you.